Hey, if you're thinking, I barely have time to write, let alone start a podcast, I got you. My Start Your Author podcast checklist helps busy writers like you start a podcast without sacrificing your writing time. No more guessing or Googling. Starting is actually the easiest part of podcasting, and with this step-by-step checklist, you can fit it in over the next 6 weeks or even next weekend. Stop letting uncertainty hold you back. Grab your free checklist at the link below and get on your way to serving your target readers today. Welcome to Book Marketing Mania. I'm your host, Kim, and I'm so thrilled you're here to learn how to reach and serve your readers as a podcast host and guest. So has starting a podcast been on your marketing plan for a while, but you're thinking, as soon as I have money for it, I'll start? Or maybe you're looking at your budget and seeing that podcasting, either as a host or a guest, is draining your finances because you're hiring help and not seeing a return on that investment. Yikes! What's a girl to do? Well, in this episode, we're wrapping up our series to help you go get 'em, GETM, with podcasting this year with the right goals, episodes, time, and money. In this episode, let's talk about your podcasting money. If you're working towards any of the goals we've been talking about, serving content to attract and nurture your readers, growing your email list, building relationships for future collaborations, and book sales, well, you don't need a fancy recording studio before you start hosting or guesting. You don't need to pay out the wazoo for somebody to take care of your podcasting task or to pitch you to guest on podcast. No matter what your goal is for podcasting, what kind of episodes you're recording, how much or how little time you have, you can start with a super simple setup. You got to see if you like podcasting before making an investment in equipment or outsourcing. At home, I record here in a bedroom that has carpet, and it's not too echoey. Away from home, I recently booked a free study room at my local library and recorded several episodes as both a host and guest. And you can get started podcasting for free. Just see if you like podcasting, even if you just record on your phone or your laptop. And then you can use a free tool like Auphonic to clean up the audio so it's nice and crisp. Most podcasting hosting platforms offer a free plan for new shows that's enough time to record a, season, like maybe 8 episodes or something of short solo episodes. See if you like it. And if you want to continue, and then you can pay a small monthly fee to keep your show going with that host. And if you want to make a one-time investment in a microphone, which is a must for hosting and a bonus if you're a guest that shows up with a microphone, the one I use is just $40 on Amazon, and it works great. And I'll put a link to it in the show notes. Again, try out podcasting for yourself to see if you like it before making a big investment. And guesting on podcasts is always free, but you do pay with your time. So make sure you're focusing on the right goal and the right content to make your podcasting guesting time work for you. You don't have to pay somebody to pitch you, especially if you're just starting out. If you're a podcast host, you could offer guest swaps directly to other podcasters if it's a fit for both of you and your audiences. And host and guest both can be very active in podcast and writing communities. And they share that they're looking for guests, or you can share that you're looking to serve audiences. And you'll be surprised by how many opportunities come about just from you spending a little time connecting and collaborating where podcast hosts hang out. And if you want to avoid common mistakes when pitching yourself to be a guest, be sure to check out my playlist below on the common mistakes authors make when pitching to guest on podcast. And if you do have a little budget to work with as a guest, I would suggest starting with the Podmatch service, as it does the work for you to connect you with aligned audiences to serve. And you can learn about my review of Podmatch on episode 131. And if you're a host, you might check it out too, because they are paying hosts that book guests through their service, which is super fun. So now that you know your goals, your episodes, the time and money, you can go get them with podcasting this year as a host and guest, and know that I am cheering you on. And remember, you shouldn't have to choose between protecting your writing schedule and building your author platform. You can do both as a podcast host and guest, and I can show you how in a one-on-one strategy session. So grab your session at the link provided here. It's a special rate for my listeners, and I can't wait to work together. Thanks for tuning in today. And as always, I'll be there for you to help you reach and serve your readers one podcast at a time. See you next episode.